What's going on, everyone? Scotty White, World Combat Sports. I'm with the one and only Stevie Massey. How you doing today, man?
Good, man, good.
We're up here in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's in preparation for his next upcoming fight. Talk about how training's been going for you, man.
Training it's been crazy, man. Just putting in long hours in this gym and just working extremely hard. Running in the heat, doing all this extra crazy stuff my dad be putting me through. And that's it, man. Hard work.
Well, that's part of it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the hard work and dedication,
right.
It takes discipline.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about, your training regime, man, what it takes. I know you have a job and you coming here. So how many days you training them? How many times you train a day?
I try to do at least twice a day. So I do my strength while I go to work. I come here and then late night when I go home, I do my strength and conditioning, running, sprinting, and all that other good stuff.
What keeps you motivated to keep on boxing, man? Because, you're very good at what you do. I know you're working your way up the ranks. But what keeps you motivated, man? I know you go home tired sometime. And, boxing is a serious sport, so what keeps you motivated?
It's just like my nieces and nephews, like they look at me and they just be like, dang, I'm doing all that. They think I'm like a superhero, Yeah. Just looking at them and them looking at me, man, it's just motivation for me.
So, they are motivation for you, but what about your opponent? What type of motivation do your opponent take you to every time you got to step in the square?
It's the motivation that they put me through. It sounds kind of crazy because it's like that person on the opposite side of the ring, they're trying to take my head off. So before they get me, I gotta get them. And then at the end, once I get them, I dap them up. It's all love, respect.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's one thing I can say about you. When it comes to boxing, you always seem like you respect your opponent. You respect the sport.
Right.
You're a serious type of dude. And boxing isn't to be played with. You know what I'm saying? It's a serious sport. The last time I seen you in the square, man, you was in there with Stephen McIntyre. Take us back to that night. You was the main event. Is it something that you learned from that bout? And, how did it help you moving forward?
So the thing that I learned from that bout is that not everybody is going to be able to take my shot. There are some people out there that can take my shot.
Yeah.
And his defense was so tight. Mm-hmm. Like, anything that I tried to do that was slick, trying to get through, it's like his guard was always up.
Yeah.
It was always up. So, like, when I did finally catch him and stuff like that, then it was great. But I did learn that from that fight. And then the crazy part about it, I didn't know that I fight Stephen McIntyre to the day of weigh-in.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard he was a last-minute replacement,
right.
And a tough last-minute replacement. Very slick fighter, and you made changes in there accordingly.
Right.
You did what you had to do to pull out the victory, which was great, man. Congrats on that victory.
Appreciate it.
Now you heading in here next week. How do you feel, man? Do you know anything about your opponent?
Yeah, I do know a little bit about him. I've been watching him keep the southpaw, so it's just another test. Last time I was in the ring with southpaw, that was Reggie Barnett. So what I'm saying, it's kind of like a little bit of revenge that I can kind of get with southpaw. So I'm just gonna go in there and beat me, man. That's it. Go in there and beat me. Hopefully I get him out of that first round again.
Speaking of being you, man, there's so many words. What is being you?
Being me is just being calm, relaxed, my head in the game, not listening to the crowd, just doing what I got to do to get that W.
In this area that you established your career and your boxing respect, do you feel like you're still trying to prove yourself over here in Charlotte?
Not necessarily. Everybody know what I can do. They see me fight, so
yeah.
I don't really think I got to prove myself. They know. They may talk and say Stevie's not this, not that, but we all know what I am.
And speaking of the area that you support and everything, I see you out all the fights, man. I see you out there supporting other fighters.
Right.
Talk about some of the other fighters that you support in your region.
I support my boy Mike White. We've been close since day one.
Yep.
Levante earlier, I support him. I support all kind of fighters, man. All the fighters around, I support them. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if the ones that don't show me support back, I still support them. If they're from this city, I'm going to support them.
And you heard it right there. Even the ones that don't show him support, he's still going to support them. And, I've seen it. Most of the regional fights, you see Stevie at. He's there to support the fighters no matter what the promotion is, which is great. It's not only build a bond with other boxers, but also it gets his brand out there also. So now, you're back on Christy Martin Promotions. Is this going to be a main event for you, or are you going to be on the undercard?
I'm going to be on the undercard, and Logan Holler, she's going to be the main event. So Morgan Hollow.
Okay.
She's a female fighter out of Charlotte.
Okay.
So I support her as well, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
So I'm definitely gonna go in there and just do my thing, focus on me because that's what I'm there to do.
Yeah.
And like when I go there to this fight, it's not there to support anybody. Go there to get my W, do what I have to do, make sure I'm victorious, and then I can think about the other, you know what I'm saying?
How did you feel about your last performance at Vegas Grand Boxing Promotion, man?
I felt good. I felt real good about the performance. I did what I had to do. And then the guy, he was slick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of figured I was going to have to fight. Everybody I end up fighting now is like, they got some skills. You know what I'm saying? So, but I felt good about it. I did what I was supposed to do. I got the W.
And that's what it's all about, man, going in there, getting the W, moving on to the next. So, in your off time, man, what keeps Stevie Massey going? You know, what is something that your fight fans don't know about Stevie Massey?
What they don't know is anything that involves some kind of like some kids, you know what I'm saying, like making sure that they're happy, giving back to them,
Yeah.
I'm on it. You can ask me for anything, like to show up to an event where it's like, say it's just showing up to an event where kids are going to be just happy to see me, giving them books, school supplies, you know, just talking to them, motivate. I'm there, you know what I'm saying, like you don't have to pay me for that or anything. I'll be there just for the sake of those kids.
Don't you support a foundation?
Yes,
What's the name of the foundation?
Cyrus Way. It's autism awareness group.
Yeah.
I also support that. That's my niece. You know what I'm saying? So she was diagnosed at like age 2. So I'm always there supporting anything that she has going on. I'm there.
Is this something you wear on your trunks to represent that foundation?
It's on one of my trunks. I'm trying to get some more patches and everything like that. But for this fight in particular, it's going to be dedicated for my mom for breast cancer.
Speaking of breast cancer, your mom, I know she's been going through treatment right now.
Right.
You know, which is serious. You know, cancer is serious. You being in the hurt business, it's all about you going to get the victory. But also right now, it's all about your mom getting the victory too.
Right. Exactly.
You know, talk about your spirit in seeing your mom go through that treatment.
When she first told us about it hurt, you know what I'm saying? I had to like just leave the house and regroup myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want her to see me like upset or sad, crying or anything like that. So it's like staying strong for her, so I had to leave. And then it was like a week or 2 before my last fight.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So I had to make sure I had to get my head back in the game. Because like if she was to see me there, it was gonna stress her out, you know what I'm saying? So I had to bounce back quickly from that. My sister, my older sister, she helped me a lot. You know what I'm saying? She talked to me and she was just like, you gotta go out there and do this for mom.
Yeah.
Like you can't have her stressing like that. When you stress, she's gonna stress even more. It's gonna make the cancer worse. So she just motivated me through that part, you know what I'm saying? So once I got the W for the last fight, the only thing my mom was just like, all right, let me make sure my mom's good at it. When we tie up, I'll look over there and make sure she's okay. Cause I know I done got hit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure she's not panicking and stuff like that. But I won, and she's winning with breast cancer, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. On a serious note, you know, and much blessings goes out to you and your family. You know, my dad passed the cancer, but I didn't know he had cancer. I was in Iraq. It was kept from me, so I never really had to have a conversation with my dad before he died. Didn't really know his cancer came back. I know he was treating it, but I totally get what you're going through. I wish you and your family nothing but the best. I know your mother has spoken about ringing the bell in September. That is for patients who have beat cancer. So we definitely gonna look forward to her ringing that bell in September. Moving on, I want to talk about the father and son tandem. You know, I want to have your father come over here so y'all can chat it up and see how that dynamic works. Not every father and son works in the sport of boxing. It's tough to go in here and practice and fatigue yourself and listen and learn and then go to the house.
I feel like the crazy part about our relationship is like a lot of people looking on the outside would not understand because we argue.
Yeah.
To us, we know what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes us different from any other father-son duo, you know what I'm saying? So the things that he be saying, I be like, oh, it makes sense. And then he break it down and somebody else come in and break it down. So like then we end up connecting. So by the time fight time comes, we on one page.
Absolutely.
Yeah, here it goes.
What's the one dynamic that'll allow you all to come to the gym, put the hard work and dedication in, and then leave and still be able to communicate with father and son, the whole entire family?
I guess it's just from all the years that we've been doing it, so.
Because we've seen a lot of father-son tandems in the sport of boxing.
Right.
You know, we've seen Sugar Shane and his dad, we've seen Floyd and his dad. You know, there's a lot of father and son. It's a tough sport because basically you're going in there to contend against an opponent.
Right.
And you have a lot on your mind. You gotta worry about what your trainer taught you and what your father taught you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How do you juggle all that when you go in here and compete?
The way we do it, we all sit down. We sit down, we talk, you know what I'm saying? This is the game plan. We look at the fighter who we're fighting, and then we be like, this is the game plan. So like if someone says, nah, we don't think we should do that, you know what I'm saying? We actually listen, you know what I'm saying? So like one of my other coaches, Sean Jackson, he's one of my coaches. He'll come, he'll be like, nah, I don't think this is gonna work right here. And then we actually listen. He doesn't just take over and just because he's the head coach and be like, nah, we're gonna do this my way. We don't do that, you know what I'm saying? We actually sit down, listen, come to an agreement. There it goes. And I have so many other coaches. Patrick Brown, he was one of my first coaches. He's still there, you know what I'm saying? My mom posted a video of him wearing the bodysuit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm hitting, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all come together and work together. That's how it makes my team so successful.
And one good thing about teamwork is communication.
Right.
Believe that. And especially in the sport of boxing, communication is everything in the sport. So I want to bring your dad on. How you doing, Mr. Massey? Can you introduce yourself to the fight fans?
Yeah, I'm Stevie Massey, Senior, and I'm the coach, Father Steve. And we've been doing this quite a while now.
Now, when you say quite a while, you know, give the fight fans a little bit of the duration. You know, when did you start Stevie off in the sport of boxing, and what did you see that made you think, okay, he can pursue this as a career?
I think it started when he was probably maybe about 8 years old, bottom of set of blood, and he was outside in the front yard to see the box with one of the other kids that boxed. And so I seen him from there, and we just kind of just took off and just went that direction. And so,
Do you have one of those special moments where you found out, okay, he has enough dogs to take in the sport? Do you remember that time as a kid when you say, okay, this is the threshold when we cross over?
Yeah. I think that was about when he was about 16.
All right.
About 16 years old. I let him come up here to the same gym right here. He was about 16. He got his first car. I just wanted to see if he really wanted to pursue the sport, and he kept doing it. And so we took off from there.
So right now, you all been together for quite some time, man. What did you find out that worked for you in communicating to Stevie to get him to respond to what you're training him to do?
It took some time. It really did take some time, you know, with different coaches, you know, coming in, you know, showing him different things, and, you know, and me and him going back and forth about it, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't agree on it. So sometimes I have to go and I have to get an input from somebody that knows a little bit more than me. I don't know it just as well as he does. So we need some help from the outside. We look out, you know, for him. So it's just basically just trial and error. Trial and error. You know, sometimes we do things correct, and then once we figure out, we set the game plan up, we see it's working, we're going for it.
And that's sound words of wisdom and advice, man. You know, first of all, you know, I want to commend y'all for actually keeping this together cohesively. You know, because like we know, father and son communication with outside of boxing, you know, may have some troubles.
Oh, yeah.
But when you compare it together in the sport of boxing, and you have to training and then leave, and you know, y'all mind is all discombobulated and you gotta take it to the house, it can be tough. So I want to commend y'all for sticking together this long, man, and still him being successful. You know, 9-1 in the game, that's respectful. You know what I'm saying? And you're still treading to get that shot. So what's your projection in the next two, you know, about 1 or 2 years for Stevie Massey?
Next 2 years, you know, like I said, we want to be getting, you know, fighting for a title. You know what I'm saying? I can't say exactly which one. You know, like, it all depends on him, how far he wants to go. You know what I'm saying? So I don't push him, but like I said, we set goals. So we have goals set. A certain amount of time we're gonna get in here with this boxing. We're not gonna do this boxing for another 15, 20 years. No, we're gonna get in here and do the best we can. Win a few championships. Take it from there.
What are some areas that y'all do outside of boxing, man, to wind down from a hard day of training in between fights? What are some hobbies y'all do?
I think mine would be just relaxing, watching TV, just being with my family. Those are mine. So.
Do you drink and smoke?
No.
That's
not
good.
at all.
What about you, Mr. Massey? Real.
But yeah, pretty much, you know, like I said, we do a lot of family activities. Like I said, we set trips. Me and my wife down. Everybody we do a lot of traveling. You know what I'm saying? We go out, got passports, so we leave the country, you know what I'm saying? So we just see things we ain't seen before. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy life.
What's the one, a couple more questions. In the top tier fighters that's in the sport right now, especially in your weight class, is it one that stand out that's really turning the game over right now?
I would say the one in my weight class that's really changing the game got to be Gervonta Davis, because he's just like the mega star in my weight class. You know what I'm saying? So I would say if anything, it'd be him in my weight class.
All right. What about you, Mr. Massey?
I would say pretty much the same too.
Okay.
It's a few more, not looking over any other fighters, but you know what I'm saying, there's a ton of talent. But we just got to keep working our way, getting there until we get there and we really see where we are. You know what I'm saying? It just takes time, you know what I'm saying? Right people.
You mentioned earlier about expanding outside of the region of North Carolina. Tell me about that. What made you decide to say, okay, now it's time to breach the perimeter and expose Stevie to a broader surroundings in the sport of boxing?
We'd pretty much like say, getting somebody that's going to be compatible with him in his weight class, in his division. Because usually we're boxing guys maybe 25, 20 pounds bigger than him, and he still holds his own. So we really see what he's capable of. So I think we're gonna start, getting up with some top level fighters. Boston, New York, Philadelphia, just all different areas, so we can really see where he's at. Step up his level.
Final question, I know y'all take a trip down to the ATL. How savory is that meal? I know y'all favorite restaurant, one of them is Papados, man. What's on the menu? What's usually the bill like when you go to Papados? Cause y'all sitting at about 60 or 70, right?
Yeah, it's about
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't look at the bill because I don't pay it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up.
Exactly.
I don't know what that's like for a while, so it's all good.
But the average, the bill, I think about 35, 40 bucks.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, but like hands down, there's seafood place you can eat.
Yeah, that's my ticket by myself. It's all good.
Yeah.
I usually get something to go anyway.
Oh, yeah. Next time we go, we make sure we get something.
Both of y'all, Mr. Massey, Stevie the Answer Massey, it's been a pleasure from World Combat Sports. Best wishes heading in there, getting that W. It's coming up real quick. Christy Martin Promotions over there in Charlotte, North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
And, tell the fight fans a little bit about the time and the date of your next card.
August 17th, that's next Saturday, from today, next Saturday. It's gonna start at 7 o'clock, doors open at 6. You know what I'm saying? When you come to the door, if you want to get tickets at the door, which they might be gone, just say you hear from Stevie the Answer Massey, Team Stamp.
Team Stam, you heard it right there, fight fans. He'll be in the building next week. And let the fight fans know where they can follow you on social media.
You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Stevie the Answer Massey. Go like my page, you know what I'm saying? Instagram and Facebook, Stevie the Answer Massey.